Do you have a corner with little light and don't know what plant to put there? Do you think succulents can only survive in direct, full sun? That's about to change. Today, I'll show you 20 beautiful, hardy, and uncommon succulents that thrive in partial shade or bright indirect light. They're perfect for indoors, offices, covered patios, or any space without direct sunlight. And many of them even bloom. So get ready because you're about to discover true gems that will fill your home with life and color, even in the shadiest corners. The first one is Haworthia cooperi, a small, compact, and fascinating succulent. Its green leaves grow in a rosette shape and have translucent tips that look like water bubbles or crystals, an adaptation that allows it to make the most of low light. It's perfect for desks, shelves, or bathrooms with filtered natural light. It requires moderate watering, letting the soil dry between waterings, and does best in a cactus mix with a good amount of perlite or coarse sand. In spring, it may surprise you with a thin flower stalk bearing small white blooms. Sansevieria moonshine is another wonder. This modern variety of the snake plant has broad, upright leaves in a silvery green shade that almost glows on its own. It's extremely tolerant of shade and ideal for poorly ventilated spaces, as it also helps purify the air. It adapts perfectly to interiors and doesn't need frequent watering. It tolerates drought, and its growth is slow but steady. Best of all, if it's happy, it can bloom with small, sweetly scented white flowers. Use a loose, well-draining mix, preferably cactus soil with some coconut coir. Peperomia ferrirae, also known as happy bean, is a compact succulent with cylindrical green leaves that look like tiny pods. It's perfect for small spaces like desks, shelves, or ledges with indirect light. Its fleshy leaves store water, making it very forgiving if you forget to water. Its flowering is modest, thin spikes, but adds a quirky touch. It grows best in an airy substrate, like peat mixed with perlite or coconut coir. Gasteria littlewardi has a unique texture. Its thick, fleshy leaves arranged in a fan or rosette are covered in small white bumps, giving them a rough look. It thrives in partial shade and is extremely easy to care for, making it perfect for beginners. It blooms with small, hanging bell-shaped flowers in pink or reddish tones. It tolerates low-light spaces and prefers a loose, rocky substrate, like a succulent mix with fine gravel or volcanic rock. Ripsalis paradoxa is a hanging succulent with long, jointed stems that create a beautiful green cascade. This epiphytic plant comes from tropical forests, where it grows in shade and high humidity. That's why it adapts well to indoor spaces with bright shade. It needs a special epiphyte mix with pine bark, charcoal, and sphagnum moss. It blooms with small white flowers, and under the right conditions, can produce small round fruits, perfect for hanging baskets or high shelves. Adromaceous cristatus, known as crinkle-leaf plant, has thick green leaves with wavy tips that look like small wrinkled ears. Its velvety texture makes it visually and tactilely attractive. It's ideal for small decorative pots and prefers partial shade. It doesn't tolerate excess water, so use a very well-draining substrate, like sand mixed with perlite. In spring, it can produce small tubular white-greenish flowers. Euphorbia tithymeloides, also called zigzag plant, has upright stems that grow in a zigzag pattern, giving it a structural modern look. Its pointed leaves grow alternately, and at the tips, it can produce striking red flowers. It prefers partial shade and low maintenance, but like all euphorbias, its sap is toxic, so handle it carefully. It does best in well-drained soil and should not be overwatered. Trapegia sandersoni, or parachute flower, is a climbing succulent with flowers that look like tiny green parachutes or hanging lanterns. Its bloom is truly spectacular and usually appears in summer. It needs a humid but well-ventilated environment, making it perfect for interiors with bright shade. Ideal for trellises or hanging pots. It requires moderate watering and a light mix of coconut coir, perlite, and a little peat. Peperomia caperata rosso is a small plant with deeply textured leaves. The upper side is glossy dark green, while the underside is deep burgundy red. Its foliage provides a spectacular decorative contrast. It tolerates shade very well, and its bloom, though discreet, comes in thin spikes rising above the leaves. It adapts well indoors and needs a well-aerated substrate with peat, perlite, and bark. Crassula exilis ssp. Cooperi is a small rare succulent with triangular thin leaves covered in purple spots, very decorative and uncommon, ideal for terrariums or small pots in partial shade. It needs little water and prefers sandy, well-drained soil. It blooms with small white star-shaped flowers, grouped together for a delicate touch. Dischidia numularia is a trailing plant with round leaves that look like little green coins, perfect for well-lit bathrooms or paired with orchids and other epiphytes. It needs moderate humidity and bright shade. Its flowers aren't showy, but its calming, modern look makes up for it. Best grown in a light epiphyte mix and watered often, but without waterlogging. Hoya curtisii is a miniature trailing Hoya with tiny heart-shaped leaves speckled with silver. Very decorative and hardy. It can be used as a ground cover in large pots or as a hanging plant. It tolerates shade and needs a light, well-aerated mix. Its small star-shaped flowers appear in clusters and have a light, sweet fragrance. Stapelia gigantea is one of the most surprising succulents. Its green stems aren't remarkable, but its flower certainly is. Huge, star-shaped, yellow with red stripes, and with a strong scent like rotting meat. A strategy to attract flies for pollination. It grows well in partial shade and needs very infrequent watering. The substrate must be extremely well drained, ideally with volcanic rock or coarse gravel. Kalanchoe humilis stands out for its broad leaves with purple, green, and lilac mottling. Its colorful foliage is perfect for modern indoor arrangements. It tolerates bright shade and drought. Its small flowers are attractive in lilac or pink tones, needs sandy, well-drained soil and moderate watering. Senecio harianus, known as string of tears, has pointed teardrop-shaped leaves hanging from long stems. Very decorative in tall pots or hanging planters. It tolerates bright shade and can bloom with small white flowers that have a light cinnamon scent. Needs porous soil, cactus mix with perlite, and careful watering. Haworthiopsis. Limifolia looks like a tiny natural sculpture. Its leaves grow in a spiral with deep ridges, making it very striking. It's hardy, slow-growing, and needs little water, prefers partial shade and sandy, well-drained soil. Blooms with small white flowers on a thin stalk. Othona capensis, also called ruby necklace, is a hanging plant with purple stems and bead-like leaves. In partial shade, it keeps its vibrant color and blooms with small daisy-like yellow flowers. Perfect for hanging baskets and easy to propagate. Grows well in a light, well-drained mix with moderate watering. Sedum hintoni is a compact, fuzzy succulent. Its leaves are covered in fine white hairs that give it a soft look and protect it from dehydration. Perfect for bright shade and requires little water. Blooms with small white flowers and thrives in sandy, airy soil. Anacampseros rufescens is a low-growing plant with leaves that shift from green to purple depending on the light. Ideal for bright indoor spots without direct sun. It blooms with intense pink flowers that appear suddenly, as if out of nowhere. Needs little water and a porous, well-drained substrate. Lastly, Echeveria Afterglow is one of the most beautiful echeverias. Its large rosette-shaped leaves have a lavender color with bright pink edges. Although it needs more light than others on this list, it can do well in bright partial shade. It blooms with arched spikes of orange flowers and is perfect as a focal plant in elegant arrangements. Needs loose soil with gravel or perlite, and watering must be done carefully to avoid wetting the leaves. As you can see, there's a whole world of succulents that don't need direct sun to thrive. These 20 varieties are perfect for indoors, covered balconies, or spaces with little natural light, And many of them bloom or have spectacular colors. There's no excuse not to have plants at home. You just need to know the right species. And now you do. If you enjoyed this list of shade-loving succulents, don't miss my video on 20 beautiful varieties of Tradescantia. There you'll discover colorful plants that are easy to care for, with leaves so spectacular they look hand-painted. I'm leaving the video right here so you can watch it now and fall in love with all of them,